are live. We got Harry W. We got Richie from Jets Media, Matt O'Leary, Iowa Jet fan, in the house. We got Dom C in the house. We got Steve, live, CEO of the Jet Lounge. So I knew I'd get rich on my channel. See what's going on. Yeah, there we go. Woo.
Jets by a million today.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, but I'm back and here. And this time I think I'm actually on the show. It was the weirdest thing. It said I was live. Everything was set up right. I saw your chats. You saw my pin message. And it was just zero. It was just zero. Like everybody, when I went online too, it was just saying you're in the like waiting for the show to start. But I had started the show. So anyway, I quickly did a repair jobs, created a new video. We're going to give people a chance to get back in. A Fungus Among Us, I'm sorry. You know, he was first, but got screwed. So you know what I mean. So we got to give him credit for being the first one here. You're a pepper. I am a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I bet you would. What up, man? I'm back. Been busy with baseball. I don't blame you, man. But this is the time to be back, isn't it? So this is a call-in show. If you look at the very top of the chat, there is a link there. We, the people, said, when are you going to do a talk show again? So I said, maybe tomorrow. So here I am. If somebody wants to come in and talk Jets, come on in. I'm not talking about you, Nick. We do a show together Wednesday night. Give other people a chance, will you? Yeah. Camera hug. But anyway, let me just say it for you, just for you, Jets 830, because it's been so long. I'm going to say, in the world. There you go. There you go. Just for you. Just for you. So, and I did that for my niece too. So it wasn't just for you, because she enjoys that too. I like to show off to her. You insensitive jerk. Okay, if you want to call in, you can call in. But I'm kicking you out when there's another caller and another person who wants to talk, okay? Does that make sense? Is that good enough for you? Because I know you. You'll come in and you'll want to take over the show like you always do and sit there and be like, I liked Becton all along. I was never anti-Becton. Hey, you know it. How many times did I say it? I want to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. Now all of a sudden he's all over Twitter boasting about Becton and how proud of him he is. But if you want to come on and say I was wrong about Becton, hey, you were wrong. And I'm not saying you always rooted for him. I'm not denying that. You rooted for him. But you were wrong because you said he's no good. He's lazy. He's hurt because he can't lose weight. He's a bum. Trade him. I'm not talking about the beginning of this year. I'm talking about last year. You've been on this guy for 2 years. You and your boy Rich Cimini. Anti-Becton, Connor Hughes, anti-Becton, everybody beating up on my guy Becton. And right now, I'm going to say it right now, when healthy, best right tackle in the NFL. Best right tackle in the NFL. I've never seen anybody shove guys 10 yards, pancake guys. He's the man, Mekhi Becton, baby. I'm just dragging your name through the mud. What is it? What are you saying? Good impersonation. Yeah. I mean, I might not have his voice down. I mean, like, you know how you know that he makes his voice deeper on purpose. You know how hard it must be for him to go through life making his voice down sound deeper to make us think that he's more manly. Like he'll be like, "Hey guys, I fell down the stairs and I hurt my toe. And now I have to go to the hospital. It's getting warm, the toe, and I think it might be infected, guys. And now I have no toe, and I'm Nicky Nine Toes. And look, I always said I'd root for Becton, no matter what. That I love Becton. I love the Jets. If you're wearing the uniform, I'm gonna root for you. I say it every time. I want to be wrong. Prove me wrong. Hold on, I have to eat my eggs. Don't worry, Chaos. No bread, just the protein. Look at that. You went longer without bringing up food than I did, and I'm not even there. I'm in an impersonation. Anyway, guys, this is a call-in show. You could do whatever you want. You can call in. You could also we could do our best Nick impressions. But what is going on, Johnny Jimenez? It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Snowball. K Yeti is here. It's good to see you, man. Man, I thought Nick would be in here right now to defend himself. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. We have to do a show where I'm you and you're me for the day. That'll be amazing. I know already what you're going to do. I don't want to ruin the joke, but you're going to be sitting there saying, I want to talk about Santa. Santa. The Santa is what we need to talk about is the Santa. And he's probably going to have like a bag of snacks. We got to talk about the Santa. The Santa. My mother made me matzo ball soup when I was young, and now I eat her meatloaf. See, I'm like Eminem. I take all your good jokes, and then you got nothing on me. But I said my whole life, whenever someone impersonates me, it's always this is what it always is. Oh, pizza. Oh, Italian ices. The texture of Italian ices. Oh, New York veal cutlet parmesans like nothing in the world. Every imitation of me is exactly the same. It's amazing. That's right. The Santa. It's important to have a good Santa. Anyway, we're going to find out from Robert Saleh tomorrow what the status of our young Santa is, the guy we drafted. It's the big mystery right now. There are some people that say because we haven't heard anything, that's a good sign. I don't know about that. You know, we didn't hear a lot about that other guy, Clark. And then when we finally heard, out for the season. So I'm not buying into the everything's okay because we haven't heard anything yet argument. I think that we could be in trouble, and I'm very nervous about it. So I'm not going to be overconfident right now. I'm feeling kind of vulnerable. Like I feel a little nervous about everything because I really want him to be healthy. I think he gives us a lot of depth on the inside. I mean, not only did I want the kid to play as a center, but even if he doesn't, he could have been guard. He could be center, and McGovern could be guard. He was showing flexibility, versatility. I'm going to be very upset if Joe Tippmann is hurt seriously. Like if he's seriously injured, that's really bad news. Not that I don't think he would recover. He's a young guy, but man, that would stink. It feels like that would just be like, and here we go. Not same old Jets because it happens to every team. Every team loses guys, but it would just be like, can't we just have the ones like off season where nothing horrible happens? Can't we just have the one off season where it's what it is? Like we have a trickling of non-serious injuries and we don't have to freak out and lose anybody. I mean, he was the 43rd pick in the draft. We're excited about the kid. I really hope he's not hurt. I mean, that would be such a bummer. Anyway, Brian Goldstein, what's going on, man? Welcome back. People are starting to come back as we get closer to the season. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. The people are coming back because the season is upon us. We're getting very, very close. We got one more preseason game against the Giants. I know everybody's looking forward to that. They say A-Rod is going to play. A million people had to run and make videos about it. What am I going to? I shouldn't talk. I mean, I make the videos everybody else makes, but still, I thought to myself, should I make a video about A-Rod's going to play? Like A-Rod's going to play on Saturday. He's going to play 2 drives, and you're going to see him throw 2 to 3 passes. He's played in the league for 17 years. You could go and watch film of him playing and throwing the football. We're going to watch him against the Giants number 2s and 3s. And if he doesn't do well, we're going to panic and freak out. And the entire league's going to say, I told you so. He's washed. And if he does well and throws a touchdown, we're going to be saying, we're winning the Super Bowl because he threw a touchdown or he didn't throw a touchdown, vice versa. In practice. So I don't care. I mean, Would I rather have him not play? Kind of. I don't want him getting hurt, but also I'm not going to overly panic that he's going to get hurt. I mean, if he can't survive 2 drives in a practice without getting hurt, then how are we supposed to make it through the season? I mean, the guy doesn't exactly have a career of getting hurt. So I'm not panicking that he's getting hurt. But at the same time, I'm thinking, what's the point? What's the point? Does it mean anything for him to take these extra snaps? Anything? Oh, do we really think he's going to get his timing with the receivers? Because he played 2 drives in a preseason game? I mean, look, if he wants to play, he's going to play because he's Aaron Rodgers. And there's nothing horrible about it. And I'm not going to go be upset about it. I'm going to be like everybody else. It's going to be exciting to see him run out on the field in the Jets uniform in what looks like a real football game. And the reason I say it looks like a real football game is because that's all it is. It looks like a real football game, but it's not. It's a scrimmage. It's a practice. It means nothing except to the guys on the field that are fighting for jobs. And Aaron Rodgers is not fighting for a job. So it really doesn't mean anything. But would it be cool to see? I guess it would be cool to see. People are talking about my beard. I really don't have a beard. I have fuzz. I'm a guy who needs to shave, is what I am. I mean, there's no beard. Green Bean has a beard. I mean, he has a beard. I mean, nobody can argue that. I wouldn't call this a beard. Chaos to many Twinkie and Hostess Cake reviews this offseason. You need to get back into game shape. Yes, I just released a review today. NCV Man saw it. I think you commented on it. I released a video of me and my brother trying a food truck pizza in Cary, North Carolina, the Raleigh-Durham area. So look at Brooklyn Brothers Food Review if you want to check that out. Brooklyn Brothers Food Review, my newest video. It's me and my brother reviewing this pizza from a pizza truck. The guy spent time in Brooklyn. That's how he said it. And then I asked him, well, what did you think of LMB? And he didn't know. He looked at me, didn't know what LMB was, but the kid who worked for him did. And I said, dude, you need to say that the kid that works for you has spent time in Brooklyn. Because when you tell me you spent time in Brooklyn and you don't know what LMB pizza is, that's a little fishy. That's a little fishy. I wouldn't consider that something like it's no longer a bragging right to say that you have good pizza because you spent time in Brooklyn because you didn't know what LMP pizza was. It's only the most famous, long-lasting, traditional pizza like ever. But anyway, we got our first call-in, guys. Our first call-in. I'm guessing it is Johnny Jimenez. Shake your head yes back there. Is it yes, Jimenez? I'm saying it right and everything. Okay. Johnny Jimenez. He is a new crazy cool fan of the channel. He's been listening like out of nowhere. It was like, boom, Johnny. He's with us all the time, every day. I love it. Always has good things to say. Great guy. I could tell already. And now we're going to get to meet him in person. Everybody, please welcome Johnny. Oh, let me say, I always dreamed of saying this. Here's Johnny.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, that was an awesome interest, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I do.
I enjoy you guys' content. The content's super good, It's super real, and that's some of the stuff that myself and a couple of my good friends out here, we watch it all the time and things like that. So we appreciate it. It's a lot better than the whole crap that you watch on like ESPN and all that stuff like that gives this content that has no real credit to it. All it is trying to get those, clicks. So, I mean, you guys are doing it, right? So we appreciate it. It's being real. So if we could show some support, why not? And I work from home, so that's a real good thing too.
So don't hurt yourself watching, because I got into that trap. I was watching Jake Assman every day. I was watching the release of all Green Bean and all Leary's videos. Suddenly, I was getting in trouble at work.
Yeah, I watch Jake as well. I watch actually a lot of mostly. I watch you guys. I watch Nick's Proud New York Jets one as well, and I do watch Jake's a lot actually as well. So just keeping informed makes the day go by super fast. Instead of me just working the whole time and not being able to do anything. But keep up the good work, dude. Just here, just trying to saw that you had it, do the whole phone call thing, so just wanted to call. a couple of my friends and I we're talking about wanting to do like a channel that we could do just, me and him, because we've been Jet fans since '87, right?
Nice.
So we know the deal. But we're out here in Virginia,
Yeah.
Virginia Beach, and there's not that many. Well, there's a huge Jets following over here. Like I know Y2K
Yeah.
and everything like that as well, like personally and stuff. So
you go to the bar every week and watch the game with the Virginia fan club?
Yeah, I did until I had my son. Once I had my son, I had to kind of watch it at home. So I go ahead. That's why I'm pissed about the whole DirecTV. The only reason I had DirecTV was to watch all the Jet stuff.
I know, dude. I'm right with you. Me and my wife, we have this big disc, like in the backyard, like overlooking the backyard. This big ugly thing, this monstrosity, and it was for one purpose. And every year I have it, and now all of a sudden I have to like do this whole new thing with YouTube, and it's all internet based. So if your internet is bad, we're gonna get screwed. I'm really not happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I mean, it is cheaper than what the package was with DirecTV. So I'm gonna probably try it out and see how it goes. I mean, especially this year, I mean, my wife, she's the one that's like, have you gotten it yet? I was like, yeah, broke down, already got it. You were ready for the whole season and everything like that as well. So, but I'm calling in, man. I'm wanting to talk about more or less everybody's like tripping out about Aaron Rodgers playing a couple series in the next game coming up, right? I'm actually excited for it. I'm actually excited just to see the quick release and to see how he helps the line a lot, and maybe potentially, I guess, seeing what the actual starting offense is going to be once the year begins, the real season begins for us. And I mean, seeing number 8 under center is it's gonna be surreal. It still doesn't feel real when I see him on the sidelines, or when you see him like One Just Drive and Hard Knocks. I think really honestly, once he plays against the Giants, it's gonna feel real. I'm like, okay, this is him as a QB1. This is, I mean, what's your take on all of that?
Yeah, I was talking about it. I mean, I didn't care. I didn't care either way. Like, part of me, because I'm not panicking that he's going to get hurt. I'm not in that crowd because, I mean, I think that's the trauma crowd, right? I mean, because we had it happen to Zach, and you've been traumatized by it. We think we have this bad luck, and to me, it's like, well, if he can't handle 2 drives without getting hurt, if we're so worried about that, how are we going to go through the whole season, right? Of 17 games with that. So I'm not worried about that so much. I am taking it with a grain of salt. I don't want to overanalyze the results of it. I'm like you. I think the best part about it is not so much me worrying about how he does, because I know it's going to be a very vanilla offense. And we're not going to give anything away or show anything. But just to see him in the uniform, to not have to wait till 9/11, but to get to see him on Saturday for real in the uniform, like snapping the ball and actually throwing the ball as a New York Jet. That's what it's all about. Like, that's the exciting part. That's the part that matters. And whether he has success or not, I'm not going to overanalyze it. I'm not going to panic and freak out if they don't score a touchdown, and vice versa, because I know that it's just a scrimmage. It's just practice. And we're going to have a very vanilla offense. We're going against Buffalo the first game of the year. We're not going to give them any film to study.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to be very limited in our play calling. I mean, we saw it on Saturday after Zach's run. Everyone's yelling at him for not scoring a touchdown. Well, after his run, remember that big run? We did literally 2 screen passes and a running play. There's no way that's going to be the actual plays that are called, right? We're not going to just give up on a drive and do 2 screens and a run. That was literally the Jets not wanting to show the rest of the league what we're going to do when we get down to the 20-yard line. And it was Zach Wilson working on a couple of screen passes, because we all know that was a weakness for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right?
I mean, seeing Zach do those easy plays and making them easy this time feels a lot better compared to before, when that dude couldn't even throw 2 feet in front of his own feet type of thing, right? Without throwing it straight to the dirt. I mean, I'm confident with him going as QB2 this year, and that's where he needs to stay at. Now, God forbid Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. We never want him to get hurt. You know, because to be honest with you, if that occurs, that's our season. You know, I'm over here knocking on wood because that doesn't happen or anything like that. But I know it's an exciting time. It's definitely a great time to be a Jets fan. I mean, my wife is excited. My daughter's excited. My
How old
son's
is your daughter?
excited. You know, she is 9.
Okay.
So,
And you have a son?
I have a son. He's 8 months.
Okay. So but the 9-year-old is probably, you have the little jersey and it's probably
Oh,
adorable.
yeah. Yeah. So she was the one that was able to put on Earl Christie's Super Bowl ring when she was like, I don't know, 5. We met Earl Christie over here which is one of the Jets player that played on the Super Bowl 3 and everything like that as well. And I'm like, I wish I was your age and would have been able to put that on. I was trying to give him my wedding ring to see if I could go ahead and wear that. And he's told me no. He's like, no, this is my Super Bowl ring. I enjoy it. It's like, damn, dude, you suck. But, you know, but no, it's an exciting time, man. I'm definitely looking forward to keep seeing your content, you know, trying to support as much as we can. I tell a lot of my friends over here that are big Jet fans to watch you guys, you know, and be able to go ahead and just, you know, support and stuff like that. So it's pretty dope. You guys keep doing your thing, man. And hey, the food talk is good too sometimes, you know, it's kind of getting away from the Jets talk after a while. But hey, you know, so I'm a huge foodie as well. So
that's great. Do you watch my other channel with my brothers?
No, I don't. I didn't even know. If you put it down, I'll subscribe to it.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn Boys Food Review. If you just type it, you'll find it. Brooklyn Boys Food Review. But I'll enter it in the chat. Just search for it. Yeah, it's all it is me and my brothers all around the country eating different food and reviewing it and giving it scores.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people to go to, if anybody wants some real good Cuban food, you know, everybody talks about going to Miami.
Yeah.
Me, hands down, the best Cuban food I've ever had out here. Because I've been to Cuba, there, right? And the most authentic food that I've had was when I went to Key West. And it's called El Soboni.
Okay.
Great food, man. So, you know, I don't know. Whatever people want to talk about. I like to travel a lot as well. So, but
that's awesome.
You know.
Are you coming up for any games, or the kids make that impossible?
So my wife and I were discussing about possibly going to the Raiders game. So, you know, Jake has the whole, whatever, I forgot, the hotel that he was telling everybody to stay at and stuff like that. So we're thinking about doing that. It's just trying to get somebody to watch the kids, you know, for that weekend and all that. But, well, I think we're definitely trying to go to one of the games in November and take the whole family out there. My daughter's first game was the Mike White game. You know, I'm here the whole time thinking Cincinnati's going to blow us out. There's no way that we're going to win this game. Mike White comes in and throws this historic record-breaking game. And, you know, the way they won the game and everything was awesome. So she's, you know, 1 for 1. So I feel like she's good luck. So I'm going to try to bring her to as many games as I can, you know, her to keep winning and stuff like that. So, which is cool.
I love it. Well, I'm about 50-50 to go to the Raiders game. And I'll be at the Monday Night Football Chargers game, November 6th.
And I think that's the one that we're talking about trying to go. So if you guys are planning any big, you know, tailgating or anything like that, I mean, let us know.
Well, Green Bean, Ryan, and Matt O'Leary, the panel, those 3 guys, they like, if I'll get you the information, but I'll put the information out there. They're doing a thing. You could buy the ticket to the tailgate that they're going to do separate than the rest of their package, because they partnered with somebody. They found a group that does a big tailgate. So you could tailgate that. That's what I'm probably going to do. Me, Dom C, I think Buffalo Jet fan, like a lot of us will be there with Green Bean and all those guys. And probably, I don't know, Nick does a tailgate too if he goes to the game. So Nick, you know, Nick will be there with his buddies doing a tailgate. I usually bounce around, right? I go to a few different ones. So we'll definitely hook up. If you go to that game, we'll definitely hang out. We'll tailgate together for sure.
Yeah, I need to speak with Y2K because they do a big one game. We'll get a huge, like the Sprinter buses, right? And the whole club goes to a game. Like the last one that I went to at least, was the one that when we played against the Redskins. And I mean, the whole stadium was Jet fans. It was awesome, awesome turnout. So try to talk to them and see, hey, are we still trying to set something up like that? You know, because normally when we go to the games, I stay at that Hilton that's literally right across the stadium.
Smartest thing to do.
You know, so I don't got to worry about anything. Then I just go, you know, somewhere in the area to go eat food because there's always food out in Jersey out there. You know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. But I appreciate it, man. Keep doing your thing, dude. I just wanted to call in, you know, show some love in here. I'm glad I'm the first one. It's kind of cool. You know, hopefully more people call in. And keep doing your thing, dude.
Cool. I appreciate you, Johnny.
Hey, keep dancing, bro. The dance moves be killing it, dude. Don't let Nick tell you any different.
Okay, bro. It was great to meet you, man.
All right, go Jets, man. You too.
All right. That was Johnny Jimenez, guys. Don't you love him? Great. Don't you love this? Getting to meet the names in the chat. Don't you love it? Isn't it awesome to meet guys and get to see who we are and everything like that? That's pretty cool. He's got the perfect little family life going there. You got the son. You got the daughter. You got both boy and girl. That's right. That's what you got. If I had 2 kids, I'd want it to be boy and girl, right? Girl and boy and girl, whatever it is. Perfect little family down there in Virginia Beach. Sounds like a good time to me. So thanks, Johnny, for calling in, and look forward to seeing you. If you go to those games, we'll definitely meet up. It'll be a lot of fun. Kay Yeti is here. Rob V is here. Ronald Perry is here. What's going on, guys? A lot of people came while we were talking. If you look at the top of the chart, the top of the chat, there is a link to call in. So anybody who wants to call in, talk a little Jets, talk about whether it's Aaron Rodgers playing on Saturday, whether it's Mekhi Becton, and reacting to my explanation that healthy, he's the best right tackle in the NFL. If you have any reaction to that, just call in and give me your take and tell me that I'm nuts. It's just that I honestly, it's very rare in my, like, as a football fan, and maybe I don't look for it as hard when I'm watching other teams and other guys, but it's very rare for me to watch film on an offensive lineman in the NFL, and not just one play, but consistently on multiple plays, pancake guys, push guys across the line 5 yards. You don't see that often. I mean, you can watch even some of the best offensive linemen, and it's like, yeah, they're stonewalling the guy. They're not letting him get past them. They're Pro Bowl offensive linemen, but pushing them, physically moving them out of the way. Becton does it in a different way, and I know people are going to say, oh, it's the 2s, the 3. I don't care, because I don't see anybody else doing that, and I watched him do it at the NFL level his rookie year. So to me, it's just a continuation. Like, we had to wait a long, painful 2 years. But, man, it's the guy that we remember from the rookie year. That's how dominant he was. That's who Becton was. He was a guy who would push people around, knock people on their ass. And we got him back. And let me tell you, if he stays healthy, how perfect is that? I mean, yeah, if you're going to miss 2 years, miss the first year where we're rebuilding anyway. Miss the second year where everything went to crap last year anyway, and we didn't have a quarterback. I mean, if you're going to pick the year he comes back and he's healthy, let it be the year we have Aaron Rodgers, right? So if he's going to be a healthy right tackle right now, this is the year we want him. This is the year we're going for the Super Bowl. So his timing couldn't be better. We just have to hope he doesn't get hurt. But I believe that when you're more fit, when you're in better shape, when you work harder, which he's worked as hard as he has in his life, nothing guarantees no injury, but you have a better shot, and you have a better shot for the injuries to be less severe. And that's not blaming him for the injuries that happened the last couple of years, because I'm not a doctor and I have no evidence that his weight had anything to do with it. Because think about what we're yelling, right? He's down to, let's say, 350, and he looks great. If you're 380 or 350, it's still a lot of weight on a knee. Like, don't tell me if he was 350 and in great shape at 350 and somebody rolls on his knee, he's going to come back in 4 weeks because he's in great shape. I don't know that. It's still 350 pounds. I mean, it's like, yes, it's much better for his speed, and it's much better that he's fit and healthy as a player, but it's still a ton of weight to come down on your knee and to recover from. So all I'm saying is, we're not doctors. There's no facts here. We can only guess and sit there and guesstimate and say, well, maybe he would have been able to come back the first year from that injury sooner if he was 40 pounds lighter. And that's possible. I'm not saying it's not, but I also don't know that it's a guarantee. And I also know it's not his fault that Van Rotten fell on his leg. It's a freak thing. It would have happened to any offensive lineman. If a 300-pound guy at full speed falls on your knee at that angle, there's nothing you could do. I mean, anybody's going to go down. And then last year was just tragic, man. It was horrible. He was working hard, and it happened. But all I know is he came back, and we have him now. We have Mekhi Becton now, and he looks great. And we just have to knock on wood, root for him, and hope that he stays healthy. Because if Mekhi Becton stays healthy, I don't think there's any fans left that can argue his talent and what he brings to this team and how special he is as a player. The only thing people could say now and be bitter about is he missed a lot of time. He's going to get hurt. I don't trust him. But there's certainly going to be no criticism or critique on his play because he's a hell of a football player. Rob V is here. He's saying, I tried telling people Becton would be fine. He just had to get right physically first, obviously, and then mentally regarding the knee. Hey, man, I've been yelling for it and hoping for it. You know, I mean, thinking positively, thinking what's the odds that, knock on wood again. I don't want to jinx it. But thinking, he had horrible luck 2 years in a row. I mean, you got to think the kid was young when it all started happening. He's still only 24. You have to think that he can come back from this. Folks like Von Miller, Parsons, and others travel, so Mekhi will get his chances. I'm not the kind of fan that wants a team at their best. So any word on Miller's recovery? Miller's recovery. Oh, Von Miller. I don't know. I mean, I heard he was like similar to like the Breece Hall as far as like 2 months ago, right? Like saying that they're saying he looks good. They're hoping to get him back for the first game, but a lot of people being really skeptical because it's not common and the length of time it usually takes. But the problem, the issue is in estimating these things is that medicine, especially sports medicine, where the money is, when you have the best of the best of the best, is getting better so quickly. I mean, just think about it. In my lifetime, an Achilles was the end of your career. I mean, there are guys my age walking around saying, yeah, I would have been in the NFL, or I was for a year. I tore my Achilles, end of my career. There's even guys who tore an ACL, end of their career, back in the early 80s. So it's such a fast-moving thing, and it seems like it's getting better and better. And there's so many little variables that none of us understand because we're not doctors. Like, it's not just the torn ACL and everyone is the same. I don't think that is the truth. I think that there's how much damage was there done to the muscle, how much, inflammation is there. People have different amounts of swelling. People recover faster. There's so many variables. So I'm not really sure about Von Miller. He's I mean, unless somebody wants to jump over to the Chicago guys and if they're saying, the Buffalo guys and find out what they're saying. But the last I heard, it was a similar thing to Breece Hall. It was just something that if he plays game one at 100%, that's a surprise. That's not something that you would normally expect based on his injury, the surgery, when he went down. So we'll just have to wait and see. Jets Mess is in the house. He's a member. He's a snacker. And he's saying, you just like Becton because he eats a lot. Look, I don't hate him for it. The fact that they saw him by Mr. Softy ice cream truck, at camp with his kid, a little kid or something, and, getting the family ice cream. I do not detest that. And for those of you panicking, like, why is he eating ice cream? Oh, no. Guys, you know how many calories he's burning a day? Like, when you're in camp, don't worry about it so much. I don't know that he ate ice cream, but if he did, don't worry about it. I don't want him to sit there with a half gallon of ice cream and a big spoon. But, if the guy got a cone of ice cream, don't panic about that because these guys are burning calories. They're in the humidity, the heat. They're pouring sweat. They need calories, so don't worry about that too much. He's allowed to have ice cream with his family. I had a tear until the day. If I don't have some type of knee brace on, I feel like my knee is going to give out. That mental game is no joke. Yeah. Hey, I remember just my back My back, I have a bad lower back, and every once in a while I really strain it, and I can barely move. And even when I'm better, I'm like afraid to bend over. I'm afraid to move. I'm afraid to test it. It's real. It's real. It's got to be. He missed 2 seasons of his life. He's got to have some trauma from that, some fear that this is going to ruin his career. He must be terrified that all of a sudden he's going to feel his knee go or tear. Suddenly he's going to have a sharp pain in his knee, and he's going to fall to the ground and be told that he's going to miss the season or lose his career. I mean, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. You got to mentally get over that without question. No doubt about it. So what we have to hope for is just look. It's like there's some things that you can't, there's some things that you can't control. And injuries in football, you can give yourself the best possible chance by being as fit as you can be, by stretching. I mean, and that's why they have, can you imagine how many people there are and how much money they pay for trainers and people who stretch them and how much, come on. It's like, that's why you do that, So it's a real. It's a little late to show, but who's playing with Rodgers Saturday night? I don't know. I don't think Garrett Wilson plays. That's just a guess. I don't think he does. I think we definitely see Lazard. I think we definitely see Corey Davis. I think we definitely see McCole Hardman. I think we definitely see Conklin. Hopefully Ruckert. I don't know what happened to Jeremy Ruckert last week. I would like to see him play maybe the block and help on the left side. Because if Becton's playing right tackle, who's playing left tackle? Because although I do hear Dwayne Brown's coming back, he will not be in the game. If that means Mitchell and Turner, I would like to have some insurance on that side, whether it's CJ or Ruckert. I'd like to have a really strong blocking tight end on that side to chip, help out, make sure that on passing plays we're giving Rodgers the time that he needs. So, yeah, we're not going to see Breece Hall, obviously. Michael Carter got a week off last week, so maybe we see him again, especially with the injury to Izzy. I think we're going to see a lot of Bam Knight. And then I don't know if he's hurt. That guy, Tremaine Dye. If he's not injured, because I think he was slightly injured. I'm not sure if it's serious. You'll see a lot of him. If Izzy goes on the IR at all, if he's going to miss any time, that's going to save Ben Knight's job. And they'll pop Awanakanda, and that could save Ben Knight's job for the time being, because I don't think he was going to make the team without that injury. But it's just a thigh contusion. He's not going to miss any real time. But it could be a way of just protecting both and keeping both. And say, well, we're not going to need Izzy the first 6 games. Let's pup him, and let's keep Bam Knight on the roster, and then we won't dress him unless we want to. And then 6 weeks later, you put him on the practice squad. A lot better chance of surviving waivers, possibly. 6 weeks from now, that after other teams are committed into their offense and their system, it might be harder to bring a guy in. And then I could be totally wrong. A guy like Tigo would say, "No, you're wrong, because there'll be people with injuries and they'll suck them up in a second." There's nothing we could do about that. But there might be other guys injured by the 7th week, and we might be able to keep them on the roster anyway. So you just don't know. You guys are joking around in there, talking to each other, so I'm trying to find one that's meant for me. What's the wife making for dinner tonight? She's not making dinner tonight. When I'm done here, I'm going down to make dinner, and I'm going to make a Chinese chicken salad. We got the ingredients delivered. We do one of those food services. So I just got to chop the cabbage and kind of mix the stuff together, and it's an easy one. I wanted to do, so that's the good thing about going first. Out of the 3 things we had sent, I get to pick the easiest thing to make. So I'm going to do a Chinese chicken salad. So how about them apples? Going healthy. I'm trying to lose some weight here. It's going to be hard if McDonald gets a lot of sacks, because I'm going to have to eat a double cheeseburger for every sack Will McDonald gets. Can you imagine if he gets like 4 sacks in one game and then I have to come on the Wednesday show and eat 4 double cheeseburgers? Nick will love that. That'll be the highlight of his life, watching me have to eat 4 double cheeseburgers, whining about my diet and how it's going to set me back a week. Any truth that Matt O'Leary is going to dunk during the meetup for the Jets versus Chargers game? I don't know. I didn't hear that. What do you mean dunk? Like they're going to set up a basketball hoop and he's going to have to dunk a basketball? Or do you mean dunk like there's going to be a big bin of water with apples and he's going to go dunk his head under the water and try to get fish for the apple with the quarter in it? You'd have to explain to me what you mean by dunk. But I would be very shocked if O'Leary can dunk. I mean, I know he's tall, but he's 6'4". It's not like he's 6'8". I mean, he's a 6'4" ginger. I just don't see it. But if I'm wrong, okay, that's great. I'm wrong. But no one likes a skinny Jeremy. Well, not true. My parents are kind of upset, and they like a skinny Jeremy. And my doctor, who says my triglyceride cholesterol is high, wants a skinny Jeremy too. So, they didn't tell you about the basketball game for the YouTube guys are going to have. No, I don't know anything about it. So, should I be offended? Well, it's my fault. I'm busy on Tuesday nights during their show. You know, I do something for Let's Talk Sports. I interview guys from other teams, and I do NFL talk on a channel called Let's Talk Sports every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So that's probably why I don't know what's going on with that. Although I should be offended because Green Bean is supposedly my friend, but apparently he's not my friend because he didn't tell me anything about no basketball game. But that's okay. I'm too fat and I'm too old and I'm too freaking beat up. If I try to play basketball, I'd get hurt anyway. So unless I get in shape by then. I don't know. It's November and I am dieting and I do have a tread, a Peloton thing that my wife's going to start making me get on. So you never know. But I was never good at basketball, man. That was my worst sport. I was much better at baseball. I played flag football, 2-touch football. I did all that stuff. I was stickball because I was from Brooklyn, and I was good at tennis, believe it or not. I actually was a decent tennis player. I hate to say it because it wasn't my favorite sport, and I love baseball and football. But the truth is I was better in tennis than any other sport I ever played. And volleyball, and I can't explain why. I don't know why I was good in volleyball, but I was freaking good in volleyball. And I was in Mexico about 4 years ago, before the pandemic, for my friend's 50th birthday party. And we were in the resort in Mexico, and we played beach volleyball on the beach. And these college kids were playing us, and we're all guys that are anywhere from the ages of 46 to 54. And we were crushing them. And I was at net, man. And every time this huge guy, young guy, 23, college fraternity guy, would go up and do his big graceful spike, and I would go up there and block it. It would fall right down in front of his face. So I don't know why. Those were my better sports, but they were. And football, you know, I had to play flag or 2-hand touch, man. I got rocked when I tried to play tackle, football. But you know how they do it on a school, on a street, right? You got 3-4 against 4, 2-hand touch football, and the kid that's your age covers you and you cover them. So I was fine because my best friend David covered me and I covered my best friend David, and we both caught passes against each other, and sometimes we didn't, and we did fine. So there you go. I'm 6'5" and can barely dunk, and I'm black. What kind of dunk? Guys, I'm reading something, so I cannot be held responsible or told anything bad. I'm just simply reading what somebody wrote. I'm 6'5" and barely can dunk, and I'm black. What kind of dunk? Well, I guess when they say dunk, they mean his hands touch the rim, like he dunks it in. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said ginger. I didn't want to say white, but you probably got the point when I said he's 6'4", he's not 6'8", and he's a ginger. So I would just wouldn't expect him to be able to dunk. I mean, he's not Larry Bird. You know what I mean? He's Matt O'Leary. I mean, the guy is eating garlic parm wings every week watching Jet games. I just don't see it. Ronald Perry, though, man, you got to meet up at the game. If I go to the Raiders game, I hope you'll go because you'll be another one of the guys I can hang out with and feel pretty safe in a visitor's stadium if you're 6'5". Be like, kind of have you right here. I'll have Buffalo Jet fan over here, Nick Shine with his crutches limping behind me. I mean, we'll be set. Johnny looks like he can go. Right, Johnny? You look like you can go. You look like you take care of yourself. So, I think about that if I'm going to go to an enemy stadium because I have a big mouth. You look at me. I don't shut up. Like, I don't want to get killed. I need a posse. I need people around me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll buy you all beer and food. I'll pay you for the protection. I'm not asking you to protect me because you like me. I mean, I'll pay you with food because that's how I'd want to be paid. Anyway, Twisted, work out, Jeremy. Chew that Big Mac and slurp that shake. Man, wouldn't it be great? So, Nick can ref the game. There's rumors that Nick was actually a basketball player. I mean, it's very hard for me to believe. I mean, he looks like a spaz, if you ask me. He's not here, is he? But I mean, the truth is, even before Nick got hurt, I could have beat him up because he's slow. He's just very like, oh, Nick, like a bear, right? He'd take big swipes, and every time he took a swipe, I'd go poof, 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 and I'd knock 2 shots at him. You know what I mean? I'd dance around him, and he'd be like, and I'd be like, poof, 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 poof. So I would mess Nick up. Don't let anybody tell him that. Don't anybody tell him I said that, by the way. That's just between us, okay? I dunked cookie. I don't, I had cookies this weekend. I didn't dunk them. I should have. I think I'm in trouble. You guys didn't tell me Nick was here. I see somebody, there's no face, but it says, I hate Jeremy. So I'm assuming it's him. I might be in some real trouble. Was he here? Uh-oh. He was here. Oh my God. I just made he made the list. I know what list you're talking about. 9 toes. What's great is that Nick can't come on right now because he got no camera. He can't make his camera work. I don't know how to make computer work. I'm Nick. New York Jets superfan. I'll be your away game bodyguard if you pay for dinners. Are you a big guy? Can you handle yourself? Because it'll be Vegas, man. I'll take everybody. We'll go to White Castle. There's a White Castle in Vegas. Get ready to wait online, though. We'll have to go like 2 a.m. if we don't want to wait too long online. Where did he go? Why did he disappear? God, man, he's so technically like just empty. He like has no ability to run technology. Guys, if you go to the top of the chat, do I have to like post it again? Is that the problem? No, because it's pinned. If you go to the top of the chat, I just put it in again. There is the link if you want to come in and talk. It's amazing. People complain all the time that they want to come in and talk, and then you don't come in. It makes no sense.
Because I switched over to the laptop because I was on the phone in the bed, and when you started talking trash, I was like, oh, I have the controls to this guy's show. So I'm going to do everyone a favor right now, and I'm going to boot him out of his own show because that's what friends do. Friends save friends from themselves. And when you see a friend making a mistake and coming at you,
Look, I'm going to throw you around.
I got to save you from you because the running mouth is going to get you in trouble.
Look how easily I could throw you around, man. I'm tossing you around like an egg.
I was going to say like a salad, but I didn't want to sound inappropriate. And God knows we know you don't eat a salad, buddy.
You would have gotten away with that comment for like 5 seconds. I do a call-in show at the viewer's request, and only Johnny calls in. What's the matter with these people? How come they're not calling in? I don't get it. Why is it?
You got to be mentally deranged and have a life like me to want to talk to you.
How come Mark Reese doesn't call in? Do you remember when Mark called into our Friday night party and we were all I was totally wasted and I was like I couldn't even run the show and I
He
was
was
like
with me one night. He was with me at the apartment one night
well,
for the show.
He kept bringing fighting. He was fighting the whole night to bring me back to the Jets. He was like, okay, now let's talk about the Jets, and he kept having to try to rein me back in.
He did. That was a party night on a Friday night, from what I remember or don't remember. All right, I had to chime in. 6'3", stretch 4 power forward. I can guard guys who are 6'8", and I could also take them to the rim if they were on the outside. So
you think you could guard Ronald Berry?
Now, no, I can't even guard myself going down a flight of stairs. So I have no faith in myself to do anything athletic. But I will discuss about finer days. Nick is Lenny of Mice and Men. I just made that reference not too long ago. That's hysterical. I said to my friend Jody that I was going to rub her hair, but I'd be careful that I'd break her neck like Lenny of Mice and Men. That's hysterical that you make that reference. That's a great comment. And her and her son just walked in. She could attest to it that I made that joke. That is hysterical, man. Very good. Very good.
Who played him in the movie? John Malkovich.
Yes.
Played Lenny in the movie. Yeah.
Give this man his money.
I had to read that book, but yeah. That's
wait! You did the impersonation of me before? Well, now I'm just gonna do you, and I'm gonna throw my flabby arms around in the air, and just rotate in my chair. And oh, what's that? My wife brought me another plate of food to eat. Nom, 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 nom.
That's great. That's great. Wait!
I have to do this. I'm old and I'm reading things. This is what I do when I have to read from the papers. I'm trying to do the crossword puzzle. They go up and down and diagonally.
Guys, we got John Hepburn. John Hepburn coming in. What's up, brother?
How you doing, fellas?
What's up, man? Nice to meet you.
How you doing? I'm coming excited about seeing our fullback and using him actually as a weapon, coming out of the backfield and in short yardage situations, which we were horrific at last year. What's your opinion on that?
I'm wondering if he's going to make the roster. There's no question. There's no question he's excellent. He's a great player. He's a great fullback. In the days where there were fullbacks, I don't have any doubt that he would be on an NFL team and be really respected and appreciated. The issue is there's so few teams in the NFL that use a fullback, and we have such a loaded running back room. I just don't know if there's room for him on the roster. I hope there is, because I really like him, and I really like his girlfriend a lot.
Wife. It's wife now.
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's wife now. It's official. I think he's got a great first name, so I'm rooting for Nick Borden to make the team.
Yeah. No,
hey, let me jump back in a little bit. I just had company walk in. Give me a few, and I'll come back in.
I'll talk to John. Yeah, so I'm rooting for him to make the squad. I'm hoping they find a way to get him on. I agree with you. I miss the fullback position. I think we did struggle on third and short, fourth and short.
Yeah. That was horrific. So many, so many 3 and outs, and I can't believe our defense held up as well as it did, in those situations. And so many times we left it out there with just 1 yard, or 2, yard and a half or something, So anyway, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's hot here in Sacramento. So we try to fight through the summers, but it's not the worst summers that we've had. It's not awful. And the issue that I have is that we got 2 puppies, and I have to bring them out to the backyard a lot. So when it's 98 degrees and the sun is scalding down, every half an hour, 40 minutes, I'm taking them outside because I don't want them to go to the bathroom in the house, and I have to deal with it. I have to deal with the heat. So yeah. I'm looking forward for September and for it to cool down a little bit. But otherwise, I'm doing really well, and I'm really excited about the season, and I'm really excited that I'm coming in on November 6th for the game.
Yeah. Now with Borden, I mean with Becton on the right side and AVT, I really expect a really good running game. between Cook and Breece Hall. What do you think? I mean, we probably, you think I'm looking at maybe we could almost have two 1,000-yard rushers.
I mean, we have plenty of extra blockers for the run game on that side. Just like you said, it could be Nick Bawden, it could be Jeremy Ruckert or CJ Uzomah. Like any of those guys are very decent blocking guys. Like they're all good blockers.
And Corey Davis.
And Corey Davis and Lazard. Lazard's
all good blockers. So I mean, that's up the running game perfect.
When you look at the way Becton is manhandling people, and we know that AVT is an elite all-pro player. So you got two guys who are incredible run blocking guys. And then you could stick Bawden in there if he's there and we're playing with a fullback, fine. You could put Jeremy Ruckert on that side. You could put CJ on that side. You're lining up Corey Davis or Lazard on that side. I mean, you got tons of good blocking. And then and then what I'm hearing, and this is really exciting for me, John, the most exciting thing I think at camp that we don't talk enough about is that not only is Breece Hall back, but they're saying it looks like he was never hurt. Like the word is that he is like the same guy.
And with him and Cook in the backfield at the same time, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do when Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall run all over you?
Pick your poison, man.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's so many different things we could do, different packages. It's crazy exciting, but like I'm really looking forward to, man, knock on wood that they stay healthy. Yeah. I really have been waiting. I mean, we've been waiting for over 2 years to see Becton and AVT work together.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, such a promise.
I mean, we were watching, if you watch the film from Saturday, Becton alone on his own was creating large gaps and holes.
He looked like a man playing with kids. He's just so massive, just crazy.
Now imagine him doing that with AVT at the same time.
And with Nick Bawden leading the block or something. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's sick. They're both going to move people and create giant holes. And the thing is when Breece Hall gets to the second level, he's so dangerous because those safeties, like a lot of times those safeties in those corners, they don't want to hit a guy like him. Like, they hate hitting running backs like that with those big thighs, like Henry, and Adrian Peterson. Like, he's like one of those kind of running backs. People do not like to hit him.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
No injuries Saturday. Love you, Jeremy. See you later, bud.
All right. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Bye.
That was John Hepburn, guys. I met him in Brooklyn at Coney Island by the Cyclone. He came in and hung out with us. And it was great. We all went on the Cyclone. We had a great time. And then we went, this was Green Bean and Gunny situation, New York Situation Report was there. And Dom C was there. And like tons of people, like we had a whole big group of people. Harry W was there. And we went to L&B and got pizza. And I got a veal cutlet Parmesan Hero, and me and Green Bean split that and shared pizza. It was great. And then I ate spumoni. And then suddenly fans of Green Bean's channel started showing up randomly from the neighborhood. And every time I went to buy something like more Italian ices or spumoni, somebody would push me away and say, your money's no good. And they'd buy it for me. That was my first real life super chats. I tried to buy a spumoni and somebody bought it for me. And I said, it's a real life super chat. It was great. I loved it. But this year there will be no Coney Island. But I told Green Bean, it's not like Sunday before the Monday night game, Sunday. I told him, I said, we're doing something. Like we're going to meet Sack Exchange. And that's Steve. For those of you who don't know, the guy who gives everything away on Twitter and runs the Jet Lounge. We're definitely going to go on a food tour, and if they're not down, I know my buddy Dom C is down. We all know Dom C. Well, Dom C is a foodie, and Dom C is an incredibly generous person with his time. Like he feels that it's his obligation as a friend when someone's in town to take them everywhere. So he's already volunteered to take me anywhere I want to go. And I think we're definitely going to do that. I think I'm in because I'm going to be in town in October. I think we agreed I would come out to Jersey in October, and we were going to go eating or something. So anyway, so there's no Cyclone because the Cyclone closes at the end of October, so it's not open in November. Otherwise, we would have went. I'm landing on the red eye on Saturday morning, so I would have. It's JFK. From Kennedy Airport, I would have went straight to Coney Island, or figured something out, because I don't think I would have went all the way into New York City and then taken the train all the way to Coney Island. I think while I was in JFK, I would have found someone from my old neighborhood to come get me or hang out at their house. I would have figured it out. I mean, maybe I would have been like one of those. I'd be like homeless or something. I literally would have taken my small suitcase and went to Coney Island and been walking around the street just trying to kill time. Maybe I'd go into a diner with my little suitcase and just eat and hang out in Coney Island until people showed up. But and then when Green Bean showed up, I'd throw my suitcase in his car and I'm good to go. But yeah, so no Cyclone this year. Yeah. So anyway, we have the link is in the chat if you want to come on in. A Fungus knows me. He knows me well. Yeah, that's true. I love to eat. The game will be my second Monday night game ever. Crazy. So Twisted, you're going. I'm sitting in. Are you sitting in those seats because I'm in that end zone? I think. Like I'm in the end zone. Like the seat I have is in the freaking end zone that I think based on what you showed me, I think it's the same view. I might be one section over. I'm not sure. Like I have to look, but we might potentially be really close if you're sitting in those seats in that end zone. I've never been to a Monday night game. I've been to playoff games. I mean, I was at the Jets-Chargers playoff game, but I've never been to a Monday night game. I'm pretty freaking excited about that. I think that's like kind of one of those bucket list things I'm kind of excited to get like checked off. So yeah, pretty excited about it. Oh, One Jets Drive is on. No wonder no one was here. I'm thinking, why isn't any Jet content provider on? Oh, I'll get a whole bunch of people. Let me go on. And then I'm like, why isn't anybody here? One Jets Drive. Everybody's watching One Jets Drive. Or maybe I just suck. Maybe it's that. It could be that too. Or maybe nobody knows I'm on because I just randomly come on and Twisted tells me all the time to stop doing that. But We the People asked me to do a call-in show and I'm doing it and he's not freaking here. He's probably hitting the bong and he's like, and like later on tonight, he's going to see this. He's going to watch it and he's going to be trying to click the link because he's so stoned. He doesn't know why he can't get in live. That's what's going to happen. Oh, my wife is done. That's her way of saying cook dinner now. Make dinner. But Chinese chicken salad for me, everybody. Chinese chicken salad. Someone had a wallaby in Coney Island this weekend, and Animal Services took it away. Wow. They had a wallaby. You never know what you're going to get in Coney Island. You never know what you're going to see in Brooklyn. You never know what you're going to see on the Belt Parkway. I don't know how many of you know about the Belt Parkway. If any of you from Brooklyn or New York, you know about the Belt Parkway. The Belt Parkway is going to be the most ridiculous small patch of freeway that goes around Canarsie, Sheepshead Bay, from the Verrazano Bridge and all the way down into Queens. Like it goes all the way east to Queens and ends at the beginning of what is it? The Long Island, not the Long Island Expressway. It's the other thing, the Northern Parkway. So in Long Island. So from Long Island, right to the way you start Long Island, all the way through to the Verrazano Bridge is the Belt Parkway. And let me tell you, I had a car accident on the Belt Parkway. I think everybody that grew up in Brooklyn near the Belt Parkway had an accident on Belt Parkway. But the lunatics and the things that you see when you're driving on Grand Central, Van Wyck, Belt Parkway. I mean, you will see people riding on top of their cars. You'll see people like half out of the car holding the door shut because they're trying to travel with a mattress. I mean, you cannot believe the shit that you see. I mean, I've seen things you would not believe on the freaking Bell Parkway. It's absolutely nuts. It's like no other patch of driving in the world. Like it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. The only road I didn't like driving on more was in New Jersey. It's called the Palisades. It's upstate New York and through New Jersey. And the reason I didn't like the Palisades is because there's freaking deer on the road. And at night, when I used to drive from upstate New York back home to Manhattan, you had to be petrified that you're going to, like, a deer was going to run out, like during deer season or whatever. So that was freaking crazy too. Mark Reese tried to get in here and something went wrong. Sorry, Mark. I don't know what happened. I saw you trying to come in. I saw you down there. You just got to wait for me to click on you. But maybe something went wrong with the technology. I don't know. Jim Pock, what's going on? I'm getting won over by Becton after being a naysayer. He's showing me something. Yeah. I mean, and whether it doesn't matter, like who hated Becton, who thought he would never be anything, who believed it doesn't matter now. We're all Jet fans. And hopefully, if you were somebody who didn't think Becton would ever contribute or be good, or he was a waste, hopefully it doesn't matter to you that he's doing well. Hopefully, like, it does matter in a good way, that you're happy. Because you're, at the end of the day, we're Jet fans. We want them to do well. Like if right now, a lot of us were, so disappointed in Zach Wilson. If 3 years from now, Zach Wilson somehow ends up being our quarterback and he's great, we're all going to be happy to say we were wrong, right? We'll be thrilled because as long as the player is contributing and we're winning, we're happy as fans. So, yeah, I mean, look, but knock on wood, he's got to stay healthy. I don't want to get too excited about him and start pumping the Becton thing and like go on the Mount Valhalla and say, "Oh, Becton," right? And then all of a sudden he gets hurt his knee and he's out for the year again. So knock on freaking wood. Let's just hope Becton stays healthy. I mean, we really gotta, it's got to happen. So. My wife's asking me what's my timing to stay hungry. So we're going to stay on for another 14 minutes. That's what I'm going to tell her. And then we're going to eat. I'm going to say 14 minutes, then dinner. Why am I talking like this? Am I trying to make myself sound like I have a deeper voice like Nick because I'm insecure and I don't want anybody to find out I'm really a big softy? Is that it? But yeah, man, I hope everybody's on the Becton train now, and I hope everybody's rooting for him because that's what's best for the team. We are in section 106. They're in section 121. That seems so weird because the view from 121 felt like it was similar to 106. Like it felt like that same end zone and that same corner of the end zone. So I guess I'm totally wrong. But it doesn't matter because we're gonna meet Twisted at one of the tailgate parties. We'll meet him in the parking lot. You know what I mean? So, but Dom C is the guy. He's the man. We're going to go to Manna, White Manna, whatever it's called, and we're going to have little sliders, and we're going to go to Star Pizza Tavern, and I'm going to get to eat New Jersey bar pie, and then in October, I'm making Dom drive me to Connecticut to New Haven, and we're going to try Sally's Upbeats. He doesn't know that. He's finding that out right now, that he's taking me to Sally Upbeats for New Haven style pizza. So we're going to do that. We're not getting no clam pie because I don't do seafood. We're getting a regular cheese pie, my friends. That's what we're getting. So get ready. You think that we're getting together before the game. We can get together Sunday before the Monday night game in November, but I'm going to be in New York for a week in October. I expect to see some friends. And do not invite Nick, okay? No Nick. Last thing we need to do is have him slowing us down with his crutches and his beard and like, no, Nick. No. Maybe Mark Reese. Anyway, in the chat, the link is in the chat for anybody who wants to join. The link is in the chat. It was great to talk to John Hepburn. It was great to talk to Johnny Jimenez. It's kind of interesting that people named John or Johnny are the guys that called in. I don't know if it's a John thing where Johns aren't afraid to call into a show, but we have a lot of Johns calling in. We did have a Nick call in, but he doesn't count because he's a content provider. so he doesn't count. Oh, it looks like somebody, a friend of mine, is trying to get in. He's a 5th grade teacher. He's an elementary school teacher. He's a really nice guy, but his device is not connecting. It says device is not connected. So maybe he has to allow the camera and the microphone to work, and that's what he's working on. I don't know, but I could see just a square down there that says his name, and it says devices not connected. Let me see it. Oh, it won't even let me bring it in. This will need to connect their mic and oh, you have to connect your mic and camera before you can come in, Mark. That's what it's telling me. It won't let me bring you in. Snowball, Jeremy, we got to hit Silo Italian Panini in Chelsea. Dude, I'm so down for that. I'll meet you there. Chelsea's easy, man. I'm right by the C train, right? So I'm by the C train on the Upper West Side in October with my wife. So we could jump on the C train and take it down to what, like the 28th Street, 28th Street stop, 27th Street stop, 23rd Street or 23rd, right? 23rd and 8th Avenue. Then I'm in Chelsea. So, yeah, I could meet you there, man. I could totally meet you there. And I'm totally down, man. I tell you, I mean, I've had panini, but I've never had, like, in New York City, good Italian panini. Like, I don't even know what to get, but I think I'll figure it out. Get some prosciutto and some fresh muds. You know? Hey, let's get a call from someone that can figure out the internet. I definitely can't. Mark Reese is having trouble setting up his phone. I'm going through my phone. Maybe not possible. It is possible, but I guess you're not seeing where, like, you have to hit the screen and see where it allows you to set up the microphone and the camera. But it's not always easy the first time. Like, you have to set it up. Yeah. So did you see that Diggs wants out of Buffalo? Yeah, man. So all that's good for us because it's turmoil. Obviously, they're not going to deal him to us. There's no way they keep him in the division. If they were to get rid of him, he should be probably sent to the NFC. But good for us if there's turmoil. Good for us if there's strain in the locker room, you know? So, you know, it's all good. Let them struggle. Let them have those issues, you know? But they're probably going to work it out. It's probably, you know, he's not going to, you know, like, the truth is if he's on that team, he's going to try. He's not going to waste a year of his career being a problem and not, you know what I mean? Like, the guy wants to win. He's not going to let his, you know, but it's shocking that he'd want to be traded. It makes no sense to me. They throw to him like crazy. He's got a great quarterback. They throw to him like crazy. They're a Super Bowl contender. I don't understand as a player, like, what team wants him? Like, I understand you want him for his talent, but think about it. He's not happy on a Super Bowl contending team with one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. So if you're a team, you got to be thinking, why isn't this guy happy? What's going to make this guy happy? You got to be thinking that. I mean, to me, that's a huge red flag. A huge red flag. Remember, man, before you give up a lot, I mean, you're going to be giving up, you're going to be paying a crazy amount of money, $30 million a year, guaranteed, you know, $100 million. You're going to be given shitloads of draft picks, right? And you're going to get this really talented receiver who's not happy in a Super Bowl contending team with one of the best, and I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, everybody, but they're a great fan base. Bills Mafia is a great fan base. You might hate them. You might fight with them. You might hate them, but they are a freaking fanatical, loyal fan base. They love their team. They're a great fan base. He has a great fan base, a team that's a Super Bowl contender, an excellent, great quarterback, arguably top 3. Some people would say top 5. Some people don't like him. Nobody that knows about football, the worst you can go, even if you're the biggest Josh Allen hater, is top 10. That's the worst you could say. If you say he's not in the top 10, you don't know anything about football. You got to be out of your mind, right? So you tell me how a player like that, how a person in that situation could be unhappy and demand a trade. Like, and not have you worried before you're going to give up tons of draft capital and tons of cap space on money. So I just don't get it. There's got to be a real problem there, right? But maybe, I don't know, but I don't want any part of that, man. I don't want any part of that. And it's like, and the fact that it's public, things went sideways because he was close with Allen, and what, now he's not? And so they had a fight. I don't know, man. I would not go public with that too. Like, I don't like that either. I don't like the going public thing. Like, you're on a Super Bowl contending team. They're paying you millions of dollars. Like, do not hurt your team. Like, that's great for us as Jet fans, right? That's exactly why I don't want a guy like that. Because then they pull that crap with us, right? And then we have to be embarrassed again. Think about the situation, how much that sucks for Buffalo. Well, why would you want to be the team that's making that suck for Buffalo? Why would you want to be the team that has that? I understand. Oh, he has a lot of talent. Yeah, he has a lot of talent. But if you're going to pay $30 million, guess what? You can get a pretty damn good wide receiver if you're a little patient. Whether you're going to utilize a high draft pick because you're going to have to trade tons of draft picks anyway, or you wait till free agency and offer the big $30 million contract and give no draft picks, unless you have to give like some comp pick. But no, thank you. No, thank you. Like, if Le'Veon Bell didn't teach every Jet fan that, I don't know what will. No, thank you. You sit out, you harm your team. No, thank you. You're not wanted here. Look at CJ Mosley and what he says in those press conferences. Part of what makes us special, part of what's built this excitement for us, it's not only the talent. It's the character of the players. It's the character of the players. Look at the guys that spoke up, demanded trades. They're gone now. They're gone now. Because great organizations think about and are focused on the combination of character and talent. It's important. There are plenty of teams that could buy stars. They don't win. They don't. That's not the way you build. You build through the draft, you build, and then the guys you bring in have to be of high character. Look at the guys we bring in. Carl Lawson, character. CJ Mosley, wasn't even JD, character. Hopefully, I'm assuming Cook said the right things, right? But then again, it's not like we're bringing him in the most critical position in the world. But we are paying him pretty well. But you might not like him as a player, but Corey Davis, character. Lazard, character. Everybody put down Rodgers in Green Bay or whatever, and the world tried to spin it that he was this awful person or that he wasn't a good team guy. Is that what you're seeing right now? I can't think of a quarterback that's ever played for the Jets that's been a better leader and a better, higher character person since what? Chad Pennington, Testaverde. I mean, Sanchez was a good kid, but he wasn't a leader. He was too young. Geno Smith, good, problems in the locker room, got punched in the jaw. Don't know that he's a bad kid because I don't know what happened there. But I mean, we've never had a quarterback like this. So I don't know, like what team, like what do you have to know, like as a GM? Like how hard is it to figure out that yes, you want talent, but you want people of high character. And like, how do you bring in a guy? It would be his third NFL team. Not that it was his fault he was traded, but why was he traded? Why did Minnesota trade him for a later pick? They didn't know that Jefferson was going to work out like that. They didn't know. There's no way you could know that. Jefferson went pretty deep. I mean, it was a great pick by the Vikings, an amazing pick. And it made that trade a great trade for them. But there's no way they knew that at the time when they made that trade, right? I mean, that's like us trading Garrett Wilson would you trade Garrett Wilson for the 25th pick in the draft for next year? Like, I don't know a single Jet fan that would say yes to that, right? Why? Because aside from we think we have a potential superstar in our hands, he's a great kid. Now, if he was chirping in the locker room and me, diva, causing all kinds of problems, then maybe we're looking to trade him for a first-round pick because we don't like what he's doing in the locker room. So That's just my question. I don't know the answer. I wasn't there in Minnesota. I didn't read and follow the Vikings. I don't know why. All I know is somehow the Vikings traded him for a draft to Minnesota, to Buffalo. And now he wants out of Buffalo. So I don't know. Nick, what do you think? Am I making sense here, or is there something I don't know?
Not in one day since I've known you.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jody and her son stopped by real quick to help me out with something.
I'm talking about Diggs, like thinking what team would want to trade for him, forgetting about the talent, from a kid who would be playing for his third team, for a kid who can't be happy in a place like Buffalo that's a Super Bowl contender, that has a star quarterback, that has a really strong fan base. Like, how could you, like, if after Minnesota trading you for a draft pick, then you're not happy there and you're requesting a trade? Aren't you concerned as a GM before you pay $30 million a year for him, tons of guaranteed money and tons of draft picks? Aren't you worried about that? Aren't you thinking, why isn't he happy anywhere he goes?
I mean, he came out today and shot down the Stephen A. Smith thing on Twitter instantly. I told you my buddy Sean, who's a Buffalo fan, and we've been going at it relentlessly. I finally said to him 2 weeks ago, listen, we got to take a break. We've been going at it too much. We're recycling some of the same digs. There's only so many times I could tell him that their window is never opened. It's not even closed because they can't get past the first or second round of the playoffs. But I asked him half an hour ago. I sent the picture to him. I was like, all right, I'm not taking a dig. It's a play on words. I'm not taking a dig, but what's the situation here? What are we looking at? What's your thoughts? And he screenshot the Diggs tweet to me immediately and said it's a non-issue. Diggs said that, you know, he made fun of Stephen A. Smith and said, I don't know who your sources are.
All right.
It's all these receivers, right? All these receivers are these divas and they find any way to get themselves attention. That's a fantastic photo. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Anything new on Tittman? No, we should hear tomorrow. They didn't have practice the last 2 days, so there was no coaching staff availability to the media.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is why, I mean, this is what the press conference will be about. I mean, I think that we're all going to wait. I would say that 100% we're going to get an update on Tittman, because there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, Cimini is not going to let that press conference take place and not ask Connor Hughes. I mean, those guys are not going to let Saleh get off that microphone without giving some comment on Tittman.
Oh, and normally, if he's not out there, they'll open it up with, you know, Tittman's got a knee. We don't know the severity yet, or we're waiting to hear. It might not even have to be asked. If he's not there, that they'll give that information out. We'll know something tomorrow morning, maybe even before they're out on the field for practice.
Yeah,
they'll get with the PR staff, and there'll be some sort of press release about news and injuries from the game. So yeah. I expect like 9:30 tomorrow. We'll have some info.
Okay. But well, yeah. So look. If he wants to, look, I'm not counting on any favors against Buffalo. We just have to beat them, because we just have to be great. Like, we have to play amazing. Everybody's got to show up. We can't be overwhelmed by the lights and Aaron Rodgers and the excitement. Like, the team has to come out ready to play. Not, you know, I think there's a lot of experience on the team now. There's young players, but there's tons of leaders out there. I just think we got to come out there and we got to just what we're capable of doing. I mean, we got the talent. Just go out and execute.
I hate agreeing with you, but I have to here. We are so talented that if we line up and play our brand of football, we're going to win double-digit games easy. You know, I think we have a smart team. We have a well-coached team. They're going to put us in positions to win, and the talent and the execution is what's going to separate us and put us over the top week after week. So it sucks that injuries happen, and we just got to hope that this is one of the years that the bug avoids us, right? We've had that bug. It's time to pass that torch, and not that I want to see people get injured. You know, I'm a lunatic. I want to beat somebody at their best. I don't want to beat them with I don't want to beat Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson. I want to beat Tua. I want to beat Allen. I want to beat Mahomes and Hurts and Prescott and Herbert, and Sam Howell, all the dominant quarterbacks on our schedule. Yeah, that's
Oh, you're talking. Oh, you okay? Sorry.
That's a Taylor thing, man. Woo, that's
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. Because you got to remember, he wants top dollar, but the Colts want top value. You got to remember when the 49ers traded for McCaffrey and gave up the 2, 3, 4, 5, or in a future 5, whatever the amount of picks they gave up, McCaffrey already had the contract. Taylor's going to want to get paid, so you're going to have to give up the picks, and then you're going to have to negotiate with the guy too. It's not like he's got an extension already. So it's very sorry. I'm very curious to see. I'm not in the chair. I didn't move over to the chair. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. So
no, I'm saying it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, I mean, the usual suspects, right? I think the Dolphins have to be involved. If the Dolphins were I know they don't have a lot of draft picks, but I think the Dolphins make a call. I think the Bills make a call, even though they're talking highly about Cook and Harris and Ty Johnson. If Jonathan Taylor becomes available, I think you have to make a call, right? Like if you're a contender. If we didn't have Cook, we make a call. We just don't have the room or need right now.
Yeah, if you don't have a great running back on the roster, if that's a weakness for your team,
yeah,
and you're a contender, like you have a chance, and he could be that final piece. How are you not interested? You have to be interested. I mean,
yeah,
Buffalo, you stick him on Buffalo, that's scary.
Yeah, I mean, you look at who was I just talking about earlier? The Browns don't have Kareem Hunt anymore. You give a 1-2 punch with Taylor and Chubb, take a lot of pressure off of Watson. The Bengals, Mixon's on the last year of his deal. Do you go and make a move there and set yourself up with Taylor for a while?
Kansas City.
The Bears running the RPO with Fields and Taylor would be scary. The Saints, you just brought in Derek Carr. Bring in running back Taylor now to team him up, and Kamara is going to, I think he's suspended for a few games. I think the Giants, you got Barkley on a 1-year deal. Go get the best backfield in football and put them out there together. And you could send Barkley out wide, Taylor. I mean, that's a combo.
Kansas City
the Commanders, Chiefs. The Chiefs, the Eagles, right? I don't think that both of those teams should be in. I like the combination of Taylor, Pacheco, and then you got Swift in Philly now. So there's a lot of teams that but it comes down to compensation and now giving out the contract. So most teams will say, we'll give you less because we got to pay him, right?
Yeah.
So I think that stays where he is.
I have to go. I have to go. Do you want to keep the show going and hang around, or do you? It's up to you.
No. You can wrap it up. You can wrap it up. I'll go back. I was watching One Jets Drive a little bit. I had you on. I had that on the TV, and then I heard you talking trash, and I had to pop back in. I saw Dano ask a question. Dano, Jeremy and I are going to be 8:00 on Wednesdays. He asked about regular season show times. We're going to be 8:00 on Wednesdays for Pride and Chaos. And I am figuring out with my producer, JR, if my weekly show is going to be 7:00 Tuesday or 7:00 Wednesday, because producer JR is a very good bowler and goes to bed early for work. So I got to take an early slot. So I'm weighing those two right now with where I'm going to end up. But I might do Tuesday, and then we have Wednesday, and that way I'm not doing Wednesday talking about it, and then we hop on and discuss the same things I just discussed,
Right. So I don't think that a slow start for A-Rod, it's not something I'm worried about. It's not, because he went to OTAs, he's been in practice a lot. It's a fresh start for him. He's got something to prove. I think we're going to see. I honestly think as the opposite. I think he's going to get off to a very good start. So I do.
You got to remember too, Bills defense, Cowboys defense, Patriots defense. Well, it might not be Rodgers having a slow start. The guys on the other side of the ball get paid to do a job too. So we're going up against some quality defenses. You know,
as long as he wins, as long as he plays good enough to win, as long as he doesn't throw a bunch of picks. If he doesn't,
I don't care about MVP. I don't care about 4,500 yards. I don't care about 40 touchdowns. I care about 13 W's and then 3 more in the playoffs.
Yeah, like the way to beat the Bills is we establish a very strong running game that they can't stop, and then slip in some play action, some passes. If you run the ball against Buffalo, well, you're going to be a real pain in their neck. They're gonna. It's very like that's the only way.
We did it with James Robinson.
Yeah. Every time I see a team play well against Buffalo, like Miami plays them well, they run the ball against them. You got to run the ball.
That's how you do it. That's how you beat the Chiefs. That's how you beat the Eagles. That's how you beat the Bills. That's how you beat the top teams. Herbert, Burrow. You keep those guys on the field, and you don't settle for field goals.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We get down inside and we got a very good quarterback, and we got a good play caller, and I think you said earlier, Zach had the run, and then they did two screen passes. I also think, to add to what you said, not showing what we were doing, but also a little bit of, all right, running back tryout here. We'll throw one tonight. We'll throw one to Izzy. Let's see what you guys do in the screen game. Granted, it's not our first line, but it's
No, we gotta keep testing. I don't know if Izzy's going to play on Saturday or not. I mean, he has the bruised thigh, but I know that Bam Knights his job's on the line. So I really have to go. So I'm going to go right to this. Hey guys, thanks for everyone who called in. I'll try to do this more often. Hopefully get more people here and I can give more warning. Nick, thanks for jumping on twice.
That's my son's birthday, Superman, and then my daughter and her birthday for someone.
Oh, you big
Snowball. Snowball asked, is that a 49ers chaos tattoo? We don't discuss that time in our lives. Weird things, man. Weird things.
You big, strong, sexy man. Goodbye, everybody.
We are live. We got Harry W. We got Richie from Jets Media, Matt O'Leary, Iowa Jets fan, who in the house. We got Dom C in the house. We got Steve, live, CEO of the Jet Lounge. So I knew I'd get rich on my channel. See what's going on. Yeah, there we go. Woo.
Jets by 1 million today.
Yeah.